The Aggie Football Hour with Elijah Robinson is brought to you by Capital Farm Credit, the largest agricultural lender in Texas. Capital Farm Credit. Together, we're better. Fighting Texas Aggies coming off the 38-10 win over Abilene Christian. That was on Saturday. And the man next to me got his first victory. Congratulations, Coach E.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That had to be absolutely special. And how special was it after the game? The game ball was special, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I said, I appreciate those guys, man, doing that. I had no idea, wasn't expecting it, but it was a good deal. Way to finish the day. So I'm excited. I don't know. I know they took the game ball from me, so they're doing something with it. So I'm looking forward to hang it up somewhere I can look at it for the rest of my life.
That will be something, and there will be time for that, right?
Yes, sir.
You're knee deep in LSU, you're knee-deep in recruit, all of that. But there will be time for that. That's part of the gratitude you always talk about, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Like I said, be grateful for everything, every moment, every person, anybody you get a chance to impact. Like I said, be grateful for every little moment. Every little, we call it Blackberry moments, so that's a Blackberry moment for me.
That is Ernie Johnson Jr. visited with the team before the season, and that was it. And that has also stayed with me. So what it is in a nutshell, as a little leaguer, right, he's got a teammate, and the teammate, instead of playing outfield, is picking blackberries, right? That's the blackberry moment, the ones that you have to remember. So from the moment you were a player to now interim head coach, did you take a little bit of time coming down that tunnel or before the game or during the game to just kind of stop, take a look around, and appreciate what's going on?
Without a doubt, like I said, I always love watching the guys run out the tunnel. The last time I came out of a tunnel before a game was when I played. And so for me, I thought I was going to just stay on the sideline and see the guys come out and just coach it when they got out. And I was like, no, you got to run out the tunnel with them. So I said, okay, I guess that's what I got to do.
We talked about this before. They beat you up at practice and pregame, and now they're telling you what you have to do is run it out with them, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'm in charge.
No, but they're not followers, right? They are great leaders. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a great group of guys, great leadership, and I think it's not just the older guys. You can look at each guy in their class. Like DJ Hicks is a great leader. Torian York is a great leader within their class. You got some of the older guys. You're always going to look for leaders in every class, and then you have leaders that's the leaders of the whole team. So we got a good group of guys. We got a good nucleus of leaders.
This is another Saturday where the defense does not give up a touchdown. It's the field goal. Now the touchdown comes on an interception and the return. Is that part of the standard that you always talk about for this defense?
That is the standard. Our expectation is always to keep them at the end zone. Try to get them to a field goal attempt, and even when they get a field goal attempt, it's not okay for them to make the field goal. Our mindset is to block it, So that's always we talk about. We want to keep people out the end zone.
I remember you saying this, and this was some years back. It was a drill. It was good on good, and it was near the end zone. And I remember you telling the defense, that's our end zone. They have to stay out of it. You always focus on the offense going in there. You know what I mean, like in a drill. But you said, hey, that's our end zone. They're not getting in there. And I just love that message to the defense. Like, okay, they can get to the 20. They can get to the 15. But they're not getting across that goal line. That, like you talk about, standard. And that's when that's in your DNA, Elijah. That's when you've got us. But we still have the confidence that you're going to stay out of it.
Yeah, it's a bend but don't break mentality. And people don't understand. When you get in that end zone, that means you got all 11 guys closer to the ball. To be in the middle of the field and things like that, we're further away. But when you get to the end zone, there's not much more space, so we get closer to the ball. I do find myself now going both sides. Until competition period today, I found myself cheering for the offense on competition drill because they got in the end zone. And then if the defense keeps them out, I'll cheer for the defense. So I'm kind of on both sides. Yeah. So now I understand what it means when you say, well, if they score, you're mad. If they stop from scoring, you're mad. So either way, you're happy or mad both ways.
Yeah, but on offense, that is our end zone. We have to get in there. The beauty of, and we'll talk a little bit later on next segment when we have more time about the competition. But it's the one thing that I've noticed throughout practice, Elijah. It's not like there's a single day, like Monday, boy, the offense was so much better than the defense, and the defense adjusts and is better on Tuesday. it's almost play to play. Hey, the offense has a good play, and then the defense comes right back and does that. It's not like it's one-sided during a day of practice. I love the way both react. To your point, as you've said to me time and again, how do you respond? And that has to take place in practice for it to take place on Saturday, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Practice that's the reps that we get before game day. And they have to be game day reps. And you got to prepare for good, prepare for bad. But again, it's what's next. If you dwell on the last play, now that one bad play turned into two bad plays. So our biggest thing is respond and what's next.
You have to have that short memory and a little bit of a long memory to know, hey, what we're facing, what a scouting report, something like that, what you see, those tendencies. But that short memory is important, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is really important.
You don't have to tell your guys to ramp it up in practice, right? They know that game speed is the speed. It's almost like the standard at practice now.
There's only one way you can play it.
Yeah.
You can't walk through, and we don't even consider walkthroughs. We call it run-throughs. So they have to understand how to practice at a fast pace, still be safe, but we can't substitute the speed of the game. We have to always practice one way.
If you're not doing it during the week, you can't just turn it on Saturday, can you?
No, not at all.
No.
It doesn't work that way.
No. He is Elijah Robinson. This is the Aggie Football Hour with Elijah Robinson. It's presented by Capital Farm Credit. We still need to talk about maroon uniforms, the 12th man kickoff team, and those competition periods during practice. That's all straight ahead. It's the Aggie Football Hour presented by Capital Farm Credit. Rolls on from Rudy's. This is Aggie Football from Learfield. Howdy, Aggs. Andrew Monaco here, inviting you all to visit Costa Vida Fresh Mexican Grill. Baja-style Mexican, made from scratch daily, serving breakfast tacos, lunch, and dinner. Aggie-owned and operated. That's our friend Holly in College Station. They have checked in from Flatonia and Katy. That's in the state of Texas. Connecticut, Eugene, Oregon, Linden, California. Vicky and Troya, howdy. Every week they listen. Every week we say hello. And Con, thank you. Thank you for the gifts, the letter. And, man, the Constantinos are not only watching from Melbourne, they're here as well. Thank you all for being here, and I hope Saturday was absolutely special. Was it about a dozen? 12. Of course there was 12 coming to an A&M game.
Easy trip, right?
Which was thrilling as they could, because for the longest time y'all couldn't come see. So, listen, every
That's
week,
awesome.
every coach's show.
Awesome.
Absolutely. How special was that, Elijah, for all of the seniors? That is, we talked a little bit about it, but it's so many emotions, and it can be emotional on something like that the last time at Kyle.
Yeah, I hope that it's something that they'll remember for the rest of their life. I try to give as many BlackBerry moments as I could, from the 12th man kickoff to the all-maroon uniform. Just try to make sure it was fun for those guys and something that they can remember.
Absolutely special to do that. 40 years ago, Jackie Sherrill and that team. Jackie is back at Kyle Field with his players, and he is honored, as he was all weekend. To have that on that Saturday afternoon, Elijah, that's special. And to even be thinking about it is really something special as well. That you always say, hey, I want to be here in Aggieland. That's exactly why, is it not?
Yeah, like I said, you have those moments and you have these traditions that's really special. And I think it didn't only do something for our current guys that's on the team, but think about the guys that was getting honored. Mm-hmm. It allowed those guys to relive that moment, and see what they started, and I think always about leaving a legacy. And those guys left a legacy, and then our guys had a chance to go honor them by going out there and playing the way they played. There's
a reason the 12th man at Kyle Field has those towels. So when they're waving them, and then to see all 11 come out. And it's funny because it's like you have the senior walk-ons. And Randy Bond was a walk-on too. He had to be convinced to come kick here, to have that. And by the way, that was outstanding coverage on that one as well, wasn't it?
We won them all inside that 30 by the time the ball's caught. And I'll tell you what, everybody supposed to be inside the 30 was in that 30. Yeah. It didn't matter what their 40 time was. It didn't matter what they was on scholarship. They had an opportunity. They took advantage of that opportunity. It was want to.
You knew and know exactly what they go through every day at practice. We talk about the D-line. We talk about, who's the quarterback, this and that. Those guys on the scout team, those guys doing all, they're every rep also. And you appreciate everything that they do, don't you?
There's no practice without those guys. Right. There's no preparation without those guys. The looks that we get to get us ready for the game, it's because of those guys. And like I said, it's at times where they won't get a break on practice, so those guys are troopers, man. And they're true Aggies, and they care about everything. They don't care what attention they get back from it. They just want to give as much as they can.
I always think it's special because, Elijah, they're going to always be remembered in a media guide. Or, you know what, there may be someone who's there. Maybe it's the first Aggie game they're ever, and they think, okay, that's what an Aggie game is. That's who an Aggie is, whether it's Alex Zettler who makes the tackle, whether it's Will Smoot there. And they're always going to be in that media guide. That name, forever, is always going to be a part of Texas A&M history, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to when they get called back here years from now. And hopefully I can get a chance to come back and watch it with them, So hopefully one day those guys will be honored for it.
Hey, I loved the uniforms going all maroon in that game. How'd the team respond?
When I saw the video, how those guys responded, it was special, and something just came. I said, what can we do a little bit different to make these guys just surprise them? So the whole plan, Shane and Goose and those guys did a great job. They laid out the original uniform. And I guess they came in early in the morning, and switched them out to make sure nobody knew. So I think it was some people in the building had no idea what was going on, So it was unique. It was unique and special to watch those guys walk in and be excited about it.
Going back to what you said, the players are the most important, Elijah, and those are just a couple of the examples, one of many examples, but those are just a couple that you always talk about. The players have to be most important.
They run the program. Like I said, there is no coaches without players. So I think the biggest thing is that we got to understand as coaches, it's get to where it's got to. We get to coach them, and I think that's the approach I take with it. I'm forever grateful to coach these guys, and those guys are awesome to be around.
Does it also a message to those who want to come to A&M? Maybe unspoken. Hey, look what A&M is doing here. I want to be a part of that. And we've heard from Jimbo in the past. Players recruit players, right? That's a powerful message, isn't it?
Exactly right. And I think some of you start to figure out, too, who's your future coach is going to be. When you watch how they interact with recruits. Some guys that come in the hole, somebody just got that knack for being around people. I think Isaiah Riggs is going to be a heck of a coach one day. And I watch how he is around other kids when they come on campus. He's willing to talk to recruits. He's willing to talk to their parents. But he's just a people person, and then he's a really brilliant person when it comes to the game of football. So I'm looking forward to when he's done playing. I think Isaiah Riggs has a tremendous future in coaching.
Not too soon. I love having 34 out there now.
I do too.
I love watching that entire defensive line. A little bit later on in the Aggie Football Hour with Elijah Robinson, we'll preview the matchup with LSU. We will come back, continue with Coach E. It's the Aggie Football Hour presented by Capital Farm Credit. Stay with us. This is Aggie Football from Learfield. Barker's Heating and Cooling is proud to be the official heating and cooling provider for Texas A&M Athletics, earning your seal of approval since 1974. A lot's changed since then, but our pride in Aggie football and our commitment to providing great service remains as strong as ever. Barker says, "Gig 'em, Aggies." From Michigan, from Wildwood, Missouri, Pflugerville, Corinth, Leander, and I think I have this correct because I learned this a little earlier, Sevierville, Tennessee, the home of Dolly Parton, has checked in. We're all over the place. And Effie has checked in, but we always knew that. Effie always checks in. Elijah, looking back at the win, we talked a little bit about the defense against ACU. The offense took a little while to get the rhythm, but once they got the rhythm and that tempo, it was really something, wasn't it?
It was. Like I said, you can't panic. You just got to let the game keep coming. Like I said, let those guys settle down, let Jalen settle down, and things started clicking. Like I said, those guys did a good job moving the ball and scoring points.
Got to have that balance on offense, don't you?
You got to.
And with the running backs that you have, Amari and Ruben and Le'Veon, they all add a little something of their own. They're all talented, but they all give a defense a different look, don't they?
They do, and they keep people on their toes. And then you add Crownover and Bailey to the room as well, and that's like thunder and lightning. So we got a little mixture of everything we need in that room with those guys, and they do a really good job. And the thing I love about them is they all cheer each other on. So that's special.
Yeah. Same way as the wide receiver room?
I agree. Again, that's two really talented rooms.
Yeah. And you had guys, Elijah, I say this, the right guys came back for this team. So if you talk about those rooms, Anais, you talk about Crown, who's he gets along with everybody, doesn't he?
He does.
It's fantastic. And you love to see those players reach across to the, you know what I mean when I say other side of the football. They're not just in their own little bubble with their players. Anias is like that. Crown is like that. Big Mac is like that. McKinley Jackson is like that. And I'm leaving out a lot, but you don't have guys who have all these cliques. You have guys who really get along. And then it's another thing to be a fifth year, Elijah. It's another to be a leader. They've accepted the leadership, haven't they?
They have. Like you said, when you get guys to come back, you want to come back for the right reasons. We had the right group of guys come back. They've been really good in our room. You know, you talking about just reaching both sides of the ball. Like I said, you'll see Anias over with the defense a bunch of times. You'll see Max Wright, who's been on both sides of the ball, get along with everybody. But like I said, it's the right guys that came back and they're making an impact. Not just on the field, but off the field.
Damani on that back end, right?
Exactly right.
So much between the ears with him, and I love to see young players talk with him in case they don't get with you or DJ or TJ rushing. They've got Damani right there, and sometimes when that message is from another player, it's a little more impactful, isn't it?
No doubt, because that's the peers. You know, when you hear things from your peers, like, okay, this is a guy I'm constantly around. This is the guy that's been through what I'm going through. I'm going to listen to him.
Was Jalen a little more comfortable at quarterback, you think, in his second game?
I think he was, you know, and like I said, every week is different. You're getting different looks, and it's all about experience, you know, and like I said, he's going into his third week this week, and he showed a really, really poised look about himself all week this week, so I'm happy for him and how he's been handling it.
He really seems to have the right tempo as well. He's not quick to just run if something breaks down. Good pocket presence. Boy, but when he escapes, look out, right? He can really make something happen and really deflate a defense.
Yeah, he's special. Like I said, those are the guys that we do not want to play against. But unfortunately, every week, every team's going to have those type of guys. So you got to have a plan for them.
Every single week, Elijah, we seem to say, oh, this quarterback's better than the last one, and the last one was pretty good. And you're going to face a heck of a one in Jaden Daniels, aren't you, of LSU?
Oh, he's special. You know, he's not up for the Heisman for nothing.
Right.
You know, and our guys are aware of his talents, and not just him, but the people that surround him. He has a great receiver room as well. He has great running backs, and he has a veteran offensive line. So this is a unique group that we're going to play, and a very talented group.
We'll talk a little bit more about the Aggies and LSU when we come back. It's the Aggie Football Hour with Elijah Robinson. It's presented by Capital Farm Credit. Stay with us. This is Aggie Football from Learfield. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP Aggie basketball fan experience this year. Go to 12man.com/maroon contest and register. One winner and a guest will receive game tickets, a VIP tour of Reed Arena, and be recognized on the video board during the game. Register today, 12man.com/maroon contest. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is a proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. The Aggie Football Hour with Elijah Robinson rolls on from Rudy's, 504 Harvey Road here in College Station. And with head coach Elijah Robinson, we preview a little bit of LSU on Saturday. It's the 11 a.m. kick. That's a little bit of a win, not having to play in Death Valley at night. That's a little bit of an advantage for us, isn't it? Because although they can drink all Friday night and just go straight to the game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it'll be a holiday. They probably just won't go to sleep, just go straight from the party, straight to the game. But that's a great environment, man. What an opportunity to play in that environment. Like I said, our guys have to embrace it. And be ready to play in such a unique place.
Last time we were there, absolutely embraced it. Max Johnson makes a heck of a throw. But I'm telling you, Michael Clemens was all over him that entire – and he wasn't the only one of that D-line. If you ever questioned how tough Max Johnson was, just look at that game from 2 years ago would have given you an idea.
Yeah, for somebody to sit in there the way he did and the way Big Mike was hitting on him and laying on him, man, I gave him – I applaud him when I had a chance to meet him in person. But I go back to that game, you know, and it was a good game, man. And I thought Max played extremely well. That our guys played extremely well. They made one more play that we didn't make. I remember Damani with the strip.
Yes.
But
yep.
Obviously it wasn't called a strip.
Nope. And I've always said this, Elijah. If Trey Palmer had run out of that pack and gone into the end zone, would they have made the same call? And I don't think they would have.
Yeah,
I think they blew the whistle. And then to me it was, okay, now we have to – it was CYA there. Why did we do that? Because Damani did strip him on that. And that's even taking off my maroon glasses, taking a look at that one. The win last year here at Kyle Field, Elijah, I thought was going to be the impetus. The last win of 2022 would be the first win of 2023, if nothing else. And Albert talked about this, Albert Regis. He said, look, we hated being on the sideline. for the Bowls. But you could see all the work that led into 2023 started after that game and after that win. And that was as well as we played all last year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And I think that win right there, they had an opportunity to go play against the SEC West champ.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the guys were thinking, like, let's go measure up and see, okay, this is what the SEC West champ is. Let's go play our best and see, can we get to that moment? And I think we can get there. I think we're close to getting there, and our guys want to be there. So, again, we got to do the things to get over that one play, like that one play that Max Johnson made, that one play where it wasn't a strip. But we got to find a way to make the next play. So that's why we're pushing so much on responding, all right, to the next play and what's next. So our guys been there before. They see they can have success, and we just got to do it weekly.
So we teased the competition periods that you have in practice. The players never know, correct?
They do
when
not
that's going to be?
They do not know. They got to just know. You always got to be ready.
I was just going to ask you. You said something when we talked in your office today. You never know when the big play is going to be in a game.
You don't.
It could be the first one. It could be in the middle. It could be the last. But every play that leads up to that last one is a big play, right?
I always heard from a really good coach that you don't win games, you can lose games. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's when you're not prepared, when you're not ready. So we don't know when's going to be the play that's going to be the play that's the win or loss for the game. So we had to take every play like it's a championship rep. And that's what we mean about that.
So competition period becomes good on good right there.
Yes, sir.
So is there some music involved in this?
We'll have some music playing. So there's a trigger point. Mm-hmm. There's a switch. Okay, and I remember hearing Marcus Luttrell talk about when they heard a song come on, it triggered them to get ready to go. And when we play a certain song, it's only played at one point during practices when it's time to flip the switch. So the moment they hear that song, they find me on the field, and they know they running me on the field, and they find out, okay, what's the competition? And it may be coaches. Mm-hmm. It may be ones-on-ones, twos-on-twos. It may be scout team on scout team. We never know who it is, but they got to be prepared and ready to compete. And sometimes it's only one play.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it's good.
That becomes the biggest one.
That becomes the biggest one. It might be a gotta-have-it play. It's 4 from 5, ball on the 5-yard line. Need a touchdown. Winner or loser. Go from there.
And then it's not new on Saturday, correct?
Exactly right.
We just went through this.
Just went through it.
The other thing I wanted to share with everyone, and Shamar Turner has said this, Shamar Stewart, when we had a chance to talk, he always talks about everybody doing their 1/11th. It's imperative you have 11 of 11 doing it. 10 of 11 doesn't work, correct?
That does not work. It does not work. It has to be a full unit of people winning their individual battle. Okay, so you can't – the ninth guy can't do the 11th guy's job. Everybody has a job to do. You have to do your job, and that's it. That's what we're preaching. I'm glad to know that they're saying that back to you. So
yeah, they are.
I mean, they're listening.
Shamar Turner also said we want to get in the quarterback's lap, which is another thing, right? I mean, and for all the skill guys, and we'll touch on them in a little bit, for all the skill guys, it's a line of scrimmage conference, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to win at the line of scrimmage. It's all about the offensive line, defensive line, and the energy they bring. They have to have a mentality to say we're going to win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. We got to stop the running. We got to run the ball. We got to affect the quarterback and protect the quarterback. That has to happen from both lines of scrimmages.
Affecting the quarterback is a lot of things, but it can be just disrupting timing sometimes, isn't it?
Exactly. It's not all about sacks.
Right.
Especially now, okay, we're playing a different quarterback. Mm-hmm. In this day and age, with the quarterbacks that's athletic as they are, that can take off and run, you can't get too crazy and too loose in your rush lanes. If you don't take care of your rush lanes, these quarterbacks make you pay. So you think about this. If you're rushing 4, there are 6 rush lanes for 4 guys rushing, which means what? That we're going to have to do extra work, okay? And then if you get a true 5-man protection versus 4 defensive linemen, it's going to be 3 one-on-ones and one guy's going to be getting double teamed, So that's just 5 on 4.
Right.
Not saying to keep a tight end in or keep a running back in, but somebody has to win their one-on-one. And all while doing that, you have to respect the rush lanes and all work together as one. So for us, it's not about just getting a sack.
Right.
So people say sacks or how you affect the quarterback. Well, no. Well, do you disrupt the pocket? Do you cage the quarterback? Can you get your hands up? Can you get your hands on the ball that's being thrown? Like those are ways to affect the quarterback.
Does it help that A&M has played quarterbacks like that leading up to this week against LSU?
It does. It does. But like I said, we're about to play a unique talent at quarterback. And like I said, it's the reason why he's up for the Heisman. But like I said, our guys are excited about the challenge, and we respect who we're going against. We know he's talented.
That is LSU. Jaden Daniels is the quarterback. We'll talk about him in a little bit more as we take a closer look at Saturday's game with LSU. 11 a.m. is the kick, 11:05 foot to ball, 10 o'clock with our St. Joseph Health pregame show. One more segment with Elijah Robinson as the Aggie Football Hour presented by Capital Farm Credit rolls on. This is Aggie Football from Learfield. Rudy's is a proud sponsor of Aggie Football. Be sure to stop by your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com for some real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. That's where we are for the Aggie Football Hour with Elijah Robinson, and it's presented by Capital Farm Credit. Hey, the reason why it's one more segment with Coach E, he always talks brotherhood. They're all getting together tonight, so this is going to be I hope you're still mic'd up and there's a camera following, because this is going to be fun tonight. So he's going to cut out a little bit earlier. In our next segment, we will hear from the 12th man, Sam Matthews. But I want to talk about LSU and Elijah. Some numbers jump out. You have a 3,000-yard passing quarterback and 1,000 yards rushing. A running back by committee for them. But you were talking about their wide receivers in Neighbors and Thomas and even Kyron Lacey. The first two are over 1,000 yards. Lacey's 500. And you said, we're not facing just the best quarterback. Those receivers, it's the best team A&M's going to face this year, isn't it?
Yeah, this team is talented, and they're experienced. And you got first-round draft picks all over that field, So we have a challenge, and our guys are looking forward to the challenge. But like I said, it starts up front with the offensive line. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball, and he can scramble. So we have to make sure we do our job, communicate, block out all the clutter, and go in with a quiet mind and get done. We got to get done. That
line was a little bit of a question last year. Has really gelled for LSU, and that's a key. They've had so much success, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is.
The third down, it was eye-popping. I think they're second to only Georgia in the conference. At 57% they convert on third down. See, this is where it's strength versus strength. The Aggies are so good getting off the field on third down. Will that be one of the keys?
We have to. We have to get off the field. We have to give our offense opportunities to get another possession. So we got to make sure we get off the field. So like I said, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to really be a challenge.
Like on offense, third down conversions really go back to the success on first and second. The success for this defense on first and second will be important, won't it?
Exactly right. We have to win the early downs, to put us in a good situation on third down. If they can constantly move the ball and be in a situation where they have easy third down, easy yardage to gain, and make it tough for us. So we have to be good on the early downs and go from there.
All at the beginning of the season, your defense talked about how we've got to be better against the run. They've been outstanding against the run. That was, and they've continued to be good against the pass. But when you put your mind to it, and that's the mindset, and they've done it every single week, if you can try it, and they're good one-dimensional. I get it, but if you can, they rush because Jaden Daniel rushes, so that's a little bit as well as their running backs. If you can control that rush, do you have an opportunity to control a little bit of the game?
Yeah, and that's a big part of it. We have to stop the rush. That has to happen. We have to stop the rush, whether it's the running backs or the quarterbacks carrying the ball. We have to stop the run. That starts with everything you do. So that's going to be a big part of the game, making sure we stop the run, because they're physical when they run the ball.
I turn everything around and say this, and I've said this every week. This is going to be a unique defense that LSU is going to see, is it not?
Yes. Like I said, our guys been playing their tails off all year, and we have a group of guys who's a year older. They're looking for the challenge, So the thing I love about our guys is they know our opponent is faceless, and they have to play at one standard if they want to be successful. And they understand, we respect everybody, no matter who it is coming in here. So we're never going to take anything lightly, and we got to make sure we prepare the right way to play the right way.
And it is LSU on Saturday, but you're winning your space. If you win it more times than the other guy, scoreboard says what you want it to say.
Win your individual battle.
Yeah.
It's 11 guys fighting their individual battle, and you have to win it.
Does that go back to what you say about the clutter? That's the only thing you can focus on is your space right there, isn't it?
See a little, see a lot. See a lot, see nothing. You heard that before, right?
Just a couple of times.
That's exactly what that is, right? And that means so much, right? It means so much. See a little, see a lot. See a lot, you see nothing. And like I said, I've been hearing that for forever, but I know it's been around this program. That's what we say, because it means everything, especially up front. Be where your eyes are, be where your feet are, and handle that.
because everything else just makes you anxious. If I have to do somebody else's job, I'm not doing my job,
Exactly.
right? Ultimately.
And something bad's going to happen when you don't do your job.
And that's why I love when you said from the get-go, Elijah, about this defensive line comes in waves. It's not first team, second team. It's wave after wave. And it seems as if, okay, this group and then the next group says, well, that group was really good. And we can't lower the standard. It's got to be that way or better. And I sometimes feel bad for the other offensive line where they're like, oh, well, it's another group and we're going to relax. And then all of a sudden they can't because they're getting whipped up there. And that's such a great thing to have in a game.
Yeah, we constantly try to preach, okay, strength in numbers. Okay, and when we say EST, everybody shine together. As long as they think that way and truly believe in that, we'll be fine. So our strength is in numbers. That'd be something we got to embrace, and that'd be something we got to understand that that's important. That's why we're having success. Happy
Thanksgiving with you and that wonderful family. Beat the hell out of LSU. Enjoy tonight. We'll see you on Saturday. Thank you so much. Absolutely. He is Elijah Robinson. It's the Aggie Football Hour presented by Capital Farm Credit. We'll wrap it up. We will hear from 12th man Sam Matthews when we return. It's Aggie Football from Learfield. Final segment of the Aggie Football Hour with Elijah Robinson. It's presented by Capital Farm Credits. Every week during our St. Joseph Health pregame show, we have In His Own Words, and this Saturday you'll hear from Anaya Smith in his own words. Will Johnson will go one-on-one with Jalen Henderson, just a preview for Saturday. But in this final segment of the Aggie Football Hour, the final word for this belongs to 12th man Sam Matthews.
Yeah, I remember being a team meeting. The whole team was there, and he went through his normal Tuesday practice, just motivating us, telling us what the game plan is. And said he had another announcement. We got to name a 12th man. And right there, my heart started beating a little bit. I've worked hard to put myself, hopefully, on that list. So obviously the opportunity was there. And he read through the whole history of the 12th man going back to E. King Gill. Once he said Sam Matthews, it was a surreal moment. Everybody in the room went crazy. You know, it was breathtaking. I can't really explain it in words. You know, obviously I'm celebrating with all my teammates and everything, but I wanted to get outside and call my mom. She's been a rock for me. She sacrificed so much for me. My dad was a Marine, so he was out on tours, and obviously, you know, the military life, maybe they wake up early and they come home late, and my mom did a great job at raising 4 kids, so it made everything worth it being able to call her and, you know, hear her talk to me and support me during that time. You know, it goes back to the first time I came here, 2009. Somehow my dad scored 3 tickets, so he brought me and my older brother. He actually left and went and got drinks or something, and that's when they do the whole Aggie War hymn, and I was completely new to the culture. I was that engulfed into the A&M culture. Some older Aggie fans started hunkering down right next to me, and I was kind of taken off guard, but you fall in love with that kind of stuff. You know, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the community, the 12th man's amazing. You know, I bleed maroon, that's really where it sparked. I came back because I'm living the dream right now. A lot of people wish they could be where I am, and I don't want to take it for granted. I wanted to do everything I could to come back. This has been the most amazing 3 years of my life, and I wouldn't trade it in for the world, so that's definitely what motivated me to come back. Definitely leading the team on the field. Watching every A&M game, coming to every A&M game, that's been the most electric part of every game. You know, at the very beginning, when the music's loud, you know, smoke's coming out, everybody comes out, and the crowd is electric. It roars unlike anything I've ever heard of, and so being able to carry that flag and, you know, kind of personify the spirit of the 12th man on the field. Yeah, I wanted to engage with him any chance I got, whether it was running down on kickoff and trying to get him pumped up or, you know, waving the flag in front of the student section right after I ran out. It was also surreal. And so I definitely have to pick leading the team out as my favorite memory.
Nick rolls to his left and boots a sideways spinning to the 35-yard line. Wysong. And he's taken down by who else? Number 12, the 12th man, Sam Matthews.
Boy, he got down there quick.
That was amazing. My solo tackle on punt, just hearing the crowd roar, you know, the announcer is talking about, that's your 12th man, Sam Matthews. It's a dream come true. So the 12th man being there to, you know, engage in me, support me, I'm going to give everything I can to them.
Hand off to Sunday. Who got the last tackle of this game but Sam Matthews?
12th man.
Oh, man, it is only fitting. The home career, he makes the final tackle. That is just flat out special. 38-10, Texas A&M over Abilene Christian. I don't know if there could have been anybody to carry that mantle any better than Sam Matthews did this season, the 12th man. Just outstanding, and he will lead the Aggies into Tiger Stadium on Saturday, the 11 a.m. kick, and the St. Joseph Health pregame will come your way at 10. This is the final show as well, the Aggie Football Hour with Elijah Robinson for this season, and for all of you who have come out every week. Thank you. Absolutely appreciate you being here each and every week. Thank you. It's been fun. 12 weeks, and it absolutely flies. Big thanks to this guy over here, Kevin Menchow. He's our engineer. Yeah. See, the applause was for you at some point. He said he wanted to wait until Elijah came in, walk with him, and he thought the applause would be for him as well. My thanks to Kevin. He's our engineer for football as well. So Alex Libert is the producer of Aggie Football in our Learfield studios. And please remember, during this weekend, Learfield is going to be having a ton of games that are going on. So as you're able to listen, this is a time when all these producers kind of lose their holiday. But if I remember correctly, and I probably should have asked Alex before I did this, it might be time and a half during the holiday. I'm not sure, but we certainly hope so. But I know Alex is busy. Alex, thanks for spending part of this night with us as well, and all the producers back there in our Learfield studios. Absolutely appreciate it. AC, as always, appreciate you. Elijah Robinson, he's been outstanding these last 2 weeks. It's been a lot of fun, and again, he will lead this team on Saturday at LSU. 11 o'clock will be the kick, and our St. Joseph Health pregame show comes your way at 10 o'clock. Dave Elmendorf, Will Johnson, and I will get you set for that game with the LSU Tigers. The Aggies go in at 7-4. LSU is 8-3. And then make sure you keep up with the Aggie Football social media channels, because after that game and then after the SEC Championship will be the bowl assignments. So we're going to have one more game even after LSU, and we'll find out what bowl that is. And there will be a coach that will be announced as well. So there's an awful lot of excitement coming up. Let's hope we start it on Saturday and derail those LSU Tigers. That will be on Saturday afternoon. I'm Andrew Monaco. We thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope it's safe. Hope you enjoy it with your family. This is Aggie Football from Learfield.